Hi, everybody. Is everybody in place? Do you have your cuppa? Are you all set for another video chat? This is how we do it. Anyway, here I am. Yep, I'm feeling perky. That sometimes happens when you do the carnivore lifestyle. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food, and we discuss carnivore, the transitioning to carnivore, and our former selves in the low-carb, high-fat, keto, and keto under 20 total carb world. A lot of us came from that. A lot of us came from Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, starving yourself, and all the other ways of doing our foods. And alas, a lot of us found those things didn't work, because if they did work, guess what? You wouldn't be sitting here working on maybe becoming a carnivore eater as a female later in life, or a male, and experiencing the things you experience. I try to talk about the feelings and the transitional things body-wise that, like, other channels don't really touch. I know a lot of channels out there can do some confusing, sort of damaging stuff. If you're younger, have at it. A lot of those channels work. They give relief to people that, are coming from something else, and even just doing things a little bit different, bring them the rewards that they're seeking. But for a lot of us that are older, we find that a lot of those things we've already tried. Been there, done that, got the Girl Scout badge on my sash, sewn on, because we know that things change when we get older. And boohoo for us, right? No boohoo for us, because you have one of those? Jealous, aren't you? Yep, it's all mine. It's gray and it's mine. A lot of us have done so many things metabolically to our bodies that, we know it's not game over, but we do have a second chance. So we're going to mess around with it like we did other food plans, because, cheating and getting away with something is like, that's the deal. No, you're not going to do that to yourself anymore. You've already done that. And what did you get? Did you get a gain, or a stall, or a plateau, or just feeling so totally frustrated with yet another food plan that didn't deliver? You don't want to go back to that. It's crazy thinking. It invades your head. It's like I got my calendar here. It's like you've got a virus in your head, and it's just like permeating you with those negative thoughts and those 24/7 type of thoughts about, what do I do now? This isn't working. I thought it did. I'm watching all these videos where it works for everybody else, and it might not. That's why I ended up in carnivore. My feelings, my head, and my body stopped behaving in keto. Keto under 20 total, under 10 total, under 5 total. All those things weren't working. And, I think I wonder, if you're older like I am, if keto has a shelf life not unlike every Weight Watcher program that you or I or all of us have been on. It lasts for like 5-6 months, maybe even a year. The weight loss is steady, the feelings are good, the lab work comes back, and it's great. And then it just kind of stops. And maybe some cravings come back. Maybe the keto-fying only keeps things at this like little simmering phase, and eventually it's like, what's the difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate? Might as well have what I want. And you start like integrating more things. You start using the total carbs as like you can go shopping for things, not unlike the Weight Watchers points. You can save your total carbs for like a keto bomb, but a keto bomb with something else. And you start weaving in some of the old thinking that we had on other programs, and when we got to keto, we thought that could all go away. But alas, it doesn't. So one of the things I'm learning, first of all, I couldn't have trusted myself without weighing and measuring all those years. I just couldn't. Now, as a disclosure, I do weigh and measure my keto unsweetened that I put in my coffee, and I do measure my butter or my ghee that I put into my coffee. I do like 3 or 4 shakes of pink Himalayan salt, and then I add those ingredients, and it continues to work for me. I changed up my first cup of coffee to black. You can put never under that one. I never ever thought I could do that. I actually enjoy it. And I realized that when I first wake up, I'm so busy with the initial part of my day, which is reading and answering comments, reading and answering emails, putting into place in my head, you know, how the day is going to go. It's usually the same. Like this morning was a shower, washing my hair, and then the blow dry and the blah, blah. So, you know, I've got that going. Now I've got my rebounder, so I've got that going. So I squeeze in a lot of my routine work in the morning before I turn on my Uber and Lyft apps and am ready for the day, right? That's just how I go. And so when I was doing my keto, there was a lot of weighing and measuring. I had the big A salad every day, and I weighed and measured the grams of lettuce, the crumbled blue cheese, maybe the bacon that I put on it. I weighed it all out in grams and in my chronometer. And a lot of you were clients following along with me doing the same thing. And so that's how we did our day. We measured, we lost inches, we got new sizes that were lower, and it all worked. And then came either maintenance or just moving away from the program for whatever reasons we might have. In my case, it was to become more carnivish into carnivore. And so the person that relied so much on her chronometer and her kitchen scale and her bathroom scale, you know, suddenly was letting the tentacles go around those things and moving on to a trusting the process, trusting what I'm eating, trusting that there is a full button. I never thought I had a full button. I used to tell people I don't have a full button. Other people have full buttons. I don't have one. Why? But I had one. I was so used to overruling it for decades that I didn't realize that there was a satiation point that did signal to my brain about being satiated, about being full, about it being enough. I've been doing OMAD, maybe Mike from Carnomad would correct me, I think for like 3 years. He started it. Right, like a brother and sister fighting. He started it, and he did. And so I slowly went to it with the caveat that I could always go back to 2MAD if it didn't work, but it worked. And on those days that I felt hunger, and yes, I still feel hunger during the 24 hours I'm not eating anything, I still felt hunger, still do to this day. When I do an overnight, I'm very aware of my body and when it signals it's hungry. And it's usually around 6 o'clock, and I could go into any diner and order, you know, the truck driver special, you know, which is hollow leg type style, and, you know, polish the whole thing off. You wouldn't even know what was on the plate originally. But I don't. I work through that hunger signal. Coffee really helps me with that. Even the black coffee puts that off with the salt in it. And I just keep moving with my day. Staying busy also helps. But there came a point when keto I felt like I had my run with it, like I felt like I had my run with the Weight Watchers program. You know, I'd lost what I'd lost. My inches had decreased. I was doing everything strict and structured, because you know that's me, Sarah, strict and structured. Well, I am. Sorry. But that helps all of you that watch this channel that need strict and structured and want to know how it goes. And guess what strict and structured equals? Abstinence. And guess what abstinence equals? Confidence, esteem, success, all of it. Yes. And so I'm not looking for shortcuts. I'm not eating things and gaining weight and saying, oh, frig it, I'm going to have a Quest bar, which is a candy bar with a wig, in case you needed me to remind you. We need to stay in our lane and do what we do. If you are over 50, maybe even if you're over 40, it could be game over. If you've been eating crap for decades, what do you think you have to do? You have to heal. Your poor body doesn't know the difference. It knows how to keep the damage going, but you want to feel better. You don't want any of those chronic diseases that are so looked at in America as like, this is it. This is how it goes. You begin to fill your shoebox. You might start off with a baby-sized shoebox, but you could end up with a man's size 15 shoebox. We don't know. The vegan doctor that was horrified at my cholesterol, even down the 80 points, he couldn't believe that I'm only on thyroid. He kept saying, you sure you're not on anything else? And it's like, he deals with seniors because it's a Medicare supplement doctor that comes out. And so he couldn't believe that that's all I'm on. And it's like, of course, he's a vegan, so we didn't talk carnivore. Remember what Maria Emmerich said. I think it was Maria. Maybe it was Judy Cho. Do not bring your non-mainstream diet to your mainstream doctor. Don't think that they're going to say, you know what? Damn, I'm going to change my whole practice. That's right. You're right. They're not going to do that. They're going to fight you tooth and nail. So anyway, so I came to the end of my keto. I was leaning more towards just meat, but I still had some veg. And I think that it's a case of, it's just like sugar, it's just like alcohol, it's just like smoking. If you're still having a little of those things, then you're not going to see the results. You're not going to have the success. And then, my friends, if you're of a certain age and metabolism, you're going to find that at first carnivore has an adjustment. It does. And sometimes it's in the bathroom, sometimes it's in your head, sometimes it's in your gut. Sometimes it's the comments from the people that share the same roof as you, living under the same roof. You're going to have adjustments and transition. And so you need your community more than ever here online, because they are going to naysay, roll their eyes, make snarky comments. And then if you've got the medical team that I seem to have, it's like, not only are they plant-based, but they don't even have an egg. Have an egg. So you need the support here. You need to see that it works for older people too. And I accept that this is what I do here every day. I talk to people that are older, that have, aging metabolisms, aging bodies. Maybe, they've collected some daily meds along the way and they want to break free of them. And this is the food plan, eating carnivore, that has worked for me. And it can work for you too. At least improvements, if not, definitely giving up those sorts of things. But it does take time. Now, I'm here to say that I'm one that gained when I first began carnivore, not unlike Kelly Hogan. I stopped weighing in February, actually in January, intentionally, because it was making me crazy. I was putting on like 6 to 9 ounces each month. And, after the 6 months of carnivore, that's like 4 to 5 pounds. I don't want those. And so, I just stopped weighing because my clothes are still fitting and things feel great. Now I've added the rebounder, the mini trampoline, to join in on the fun of what works for me, what gives me more energy, what makes me stand taller, what makes me feel like I'm, releasing a lot of the toxins, not just oxalates. But the transition took time. There's no other way to say it. You have to trust the process. You don't have to, but for peace of mind and getting away from the head, the busy head that a lot of us food addicts go through, food addicts, carb addicts, and sugar addicts, because we're always busy brain, to getting to the just animal products and seeing how it works for you, accepting that if you do have a gain, it's because your body's been malnourished. Most of the morbidly obese people in the United States and Canada are malnourished. So they never feel full. They never feel satiated because they're eating things that aren't good for their body, and their body doesn't need. Their body fights to get through them, get rid of them. But the body's not saying, "Oh, thank you for that egg omelet with real cheese, not American cheese." It's not saying that. They're having awful foods, and their body continues to send the message. But it's hard to hear until you hear it. Most people don't go from standard American diet to carnivore. It's not an overnight miracle. It takes time. And so the transition time for carnivore, I'm just here to say, as an older woman, I'm at around 6 or 7 months at this point, and I'm just starting to feel like weight-wise, lean-wise, and otherwise, that it's starting to all make sense. There were some initial non-scale victories, like the good solid sleep, like the energy level, zing, like the good stable mood that I call Zen. There's a bunch of those things that you get right away. And it's like motivational, right? It's like, wow, 8 hours sleep? Wow, nobody's head's going to get bitten off today because I had a good night's sleep. So those things begin to happen. But then I'm finding around 6 or 7 months, even more. It's like even more better, more betterer. And so trust the process. If you're in your 50s or 60s and you've had the limited success with other food programs, you may find that the carnivore is just, it's great. It's not the last door on the left. Now what will I do? It's not that way. It's the last door on the left. And I'm glad you finally made it here. That's how I feel myself talking to myself. I'm glad I made it here. And I hope that you are glad you made it here too. Thank you so much for watching. If you had no intentions of being carnivore, look out. It could grab you too. I'll see you the next time. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Carnivore. It works for me, and I hope you join me. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye for now.